Hey, family. Hey, family. Y'all ain't gonna like me today. Okay? Y'all not gonna like me today. What's up, B More City? What's up, B More City? What's up, my TikTok family? And B More City. What's up, family? Minding my own business. Minding my own business. Ah, we're going to talk about it on the TikTok show today. Why I said the TikTok show? We're going to talk about it on the live stream today. Minding my own business. Okay, Ted, I just got a phone call. I just got a phone call, Faith. Somebody want me to run for city council. Minding my own business. And that's what I was telling them. Hold up, I'm trying to get it back up. Minding my own business. And I'm going to say, and leaving yours alone. I was telling Keith this. Keith Scott, right? I kind of like, hold up, because I'm gonna sing my song in a minute. I'm gonna sing my song in a minute. Sing a song in a minute. I'm gonna sing my song in a minute. I'm gonna sing what? I ain't asked you to give me no meat. What? This one say you should mind your own business and work with your hands. I just want some of the questions back that it was basically asking and explaining, right? Minding my own business on the couch talk show. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation show. I'm minding my own business. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation show. If you want to come up and talk about, I need to mind my own business, let's talk. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation. Steve Copeland from the couch conversation show. Hey, Reverend Cool, bring your butt over here. Reverend Cool, hey, bring your butt over here. Because I want to talk about something too, right? I don't have nothing against women. Okay? I've been married twice. Women never been a problem for me. Okay? So, and I'm going to tie all of this into minding my own business. Okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all on TikTok, man, come on. Come on. And family, I don't want to put you out there like that. I'm not going to do that to you. But I did not know your platform was full of women that hate men. And these women are hurting. They are still hurting from whatever they've been through with a man. Minding your own business with your own feelings and emotions. I told Keith Scott, I said, I'm going to go on here. I got to end this call, right? Because I'm going to start off my show with minding. You know, it's the couch conversation, right? I wanted to start off with something a little different today. And I was looking at minding your own business, but I was looking at it, like I told Keith, more on a spiritual journey. Spiritually, when I say minding your own business, to learn to keep peace within your life, within your mind, within your heart, within your spirit. So sometimes stuff around us or that trauma that went on in our life, you got to build a space for yourself where you're comfortable with minding your business. Because like I was telling Keith, that's kind of hard for me to do. Mind my own goddamn business. You know why? The LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope is where I help build back up in the Black community. And that's what me and Keith was talking about. That's why he asked me, would I run for council seat? I said, bro, you got me nervous now. Because somebody been asked me years ago to run for council seat. A council seat. And I said my biggest fear at that time was I might get into a fight because I don't play when it comes to the people. And that's when Dr. Humphrey told me about Frida Mother. Frida, I'm sorry, Frida. Rita Mother, and said she did not play when it came to the people. And that's one thing about Steve Copeland family. I do not play when it comes to the people. So as the conversation went on with us talking, and y'all know, I got the Teen Talk Show with the housing program family, and Marlo Hargrove does. He worked with he works with the returning citizens and stuff like that. He houses them. He got programs for them. So basically, he worked with the guys. He only worked with the guys. My goal, I don't have a problem with working with the guys, husband and wives, you get me? Women and children. I'm at a point right now, be honest with y'all. I want to buy my own building. I don't know what God is doing, but I've been looking up on the Copeland name a lot. And the Copeland name talks about land. The Copeland name talks about land, purchasing land. Cope land. And as I was doing my research through that family, I'm looking at, going back now, I'm looking at the agriculture, the lands and stuff that they purchased to build. This is not nothing new. I was reading up about Alvin Copeland, which they call Al Copeland. He used to race boats and stuff like that. I never paid attention to the man's name. He was one of the ones that started Popeye's Chicken from New Orleans. And a lot of these other, I believe, Copeland restaurants. Because as I was reading it and it was starting to come together, I'm like, wow. Then I even read up a little bit about Kenneth Copeland. Because I'm trying to see where's the connection. And I read up other names as well. Family, y'all know, I ain't no joke. I'm not no joke. And when Keith said that, right, we creating our own political party, which Newsom ran, I think, for mayor, Fred Newsom. And I met him. I was telling Keith, I said, people that really wants to help our people as far as moving them forward in Baltimore City. I said, people like y'all or us, they don't want us in. But it's the people. When I say it's the people, I'm talking about it's the community. When Keith said that, family, I got a little nervous. Because one, I know my mouth. And it's not just my mouth. If you know anything about Steve Copeland is about doing the best we can to build back up in Baltimore City. It's just getting the right people to support what you're doing and believe in it. And what we have a tendency of doing, we'll turn around because people talk a great game, and I got you. People talk a great game, but they're not providing the solutions to the games that they talk. See, I already know, because I deal with our politicians. Democrats and Republicans. I don't expect, to be honest with y'all, my whole goal with doing what I do, and I'm gonna just say as a recovering addict, was to like reach the multitude. You know what I mean? Be able to reach the multitude. Our biggest thing as Black people, it's like we are afraid. We are afraid to stand up for what we want out of life. And they already know this. We are afraid to unify. I watch a lot of us, mainly on TikTok, because y'all know I'm on TikTok a lot. And I'm live streaming to Facebook and all that too. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Y'all just don't see me in Baltimore City. They see me live in the UK. They see me live in other countries. Already know that. Already know it. I knew from years ago when I would go live, it would be people in the United States, basically. Matter of fact, that's where I met what's your name from Facebook, where she was up here talking about like a lot of our politicians in the UK messing with the young children. Now, she was telling me this, Yolanda, I'm sorry, family, was telling me this, and we was talking about it because she was listening to me and the things that I do over here, right? And she started telling me about the stuff that was happening to the babies over there with the politicians. And now look what's happening over here, which has been happening. It's just I wasn't hearing it from the level of where we at. Minding my own business. And in a sense, right, I was telling Keith, I said, how in the heck can I mind my own business when I got a business of trying to help people to become more responsible, independent, and productive? But I'm going to tell you this, like I was telling Keith, it's the mental conditioning, the spiritual conditioning that you have to go through after doing the things that we do to focus more on yourself. So I'm looking at minding my own business, right? Just like once I finished helping people straighten out theirs, I'm like, Keith, you know, I said, Keith, this, I'm telling you, bro, I'm laughing, right? Because I'm thinking about how in the heck, Mr. Copeland, because you know the goal is when you to have peace in your life, you got to focus on yourself. And I'm sharing this with Keith because these are the things, family, that I have to look at. And I'm only sharing back with y'all, right, to have peace in your life, to gain structure in your life. And see, Trey, if you out there and you listening, bro, thanks for coming up on what's your name's platform, because I know C Trey worked with the younger guys, our youth. I work with them as well. That's why I started the Teen Talk Show. And my goal with that is to start going to other programs that have youth there and do like interviews with them. But now, with me, either way, if I bring youths on, we're going to have to get the approval of the parents. You get me? I already know all that. So even if, say like with Uncle T, he said, yeah, you can come and do an interview with some of the kids, right? They teenagers. Because I really want us to pay more attention, mainly to our youth, family. But then in order for us to pay attention to the youth, the parents got to be in order. If the parents are not mentally, emotionally, and spiritually capable of dealing with their children, yes, they're going to run amok. They're going to run. So I'm looking at the children. That's why when I do the Teen Talk Show, it's giving our youth a voice. Then I realized, it hit me one day, the parents are the voice for the youth. Because once they're able to express themselves, talk about where they at, what's going on with them, how they feel, that's why you got to listen. And some things they might point fingers at you to make you feel like it's your fault because I feel like this. It's your fault because I'm acting like that. No, it's not your fault. As long as you know you taught them better. For the longest time, right, when I was with Communities United, my director would tell me to talk about my children and the things that they doing in their lives. Now I'm in the inner city, right? I didn't want to get personal with my children because I didn't want other parents to feel like they was failing their children. So I didn't want to appear like I was much better than. I come from the inner city. I come from the hood. I thank God that I was able, me and my wife, to provide better for our children. And that's not to put nobody down. That's why when y'all hear me talk about, I stopped school in the 10th grade. I have a 9th grade education. Then when you hear me say at 21, I got my Class A driver's license. And I drove on and off until I got clean. I'm talking about tractor trailers. That's a career-minded profession. So the reason why I'm saying this, because I know if you're working at a McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, stuff like that, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you in a professional type career job, you get Medicaid, medical insurance, you get life insurance, 401k, the retirement plan, vacation paid, compared to just working at a McDonald's or something like that, that won't give you those benefits. They can afford to, but that's more money out of their pocket because they got to pay into what they're doing for you. Did y'all know that? That's why when it comes to the program with me, the goal is to help you sign up to get you out of that space that you in for the mental health program. That's why you have to sign up for the mental health program, because the goal is to break that cycle. I was getting ready to say that slave man mentality cycle. You gotta break. If you stuck in the area, right, where you constantly repeating the same stuff, but you're not moving or you're not growing, Yeah, sometimes you gotta break it. You gotta break it and put new information there. That's why I hate this thing popping up like this. That's why when you hear me say minding your own business, means you got to start focusing back on yourself. I don't like that. It keep popping up on me. That's just focusing back on yourself. That's all I'm saying. A lot of people don't want to do the work, family. A lot of people don't want to do the work. A lot of people are comfortable with where they at. And I know my platform is not the platform that inspires or, in a sense, with some. It's not toxic. Now, if I was on here talking about a bunch of drama and I'm talking about toxic stuff, I would probably rate number one, rating number and number one's ratings. If I was on here personally cutting us down, and because of where we at as human beings, right, and the way we feel in here, it will gravitate to you. But when I'm talking about stuff to help you understand the importance of working on yourself and changing your lifestyle, you don't want to hear it. Minding your own business. Look at that. Now it's like don't nothing want to pop back up. But I like the one that's broke down is on here, which I'm recording on. It was just talking about like some things and this giving me scripture. What I say? Didn't I say it? I said it's the spiritual growth. Remember when I was talking? I was saying I was talking to Keith, and when I made that statement, minding your own business, how you have to work on yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Right? So on here, this one, they giving you scripture. This one talks about like First Thessalonians 4:11. Aspire to live quietly and to mind your own affairs and to work with your hands as we instructed you. Thessalonians 4:11. Remember, I said it's about inspiring people. And the same things I just read, I was sharing with Keith. Because you meeting people at the level of where they at. Some of them financially, economically, need somebody to help them grow, right? They need to be taught. Rather it's financial classes, rather it's I'm gonna say making market, budgeting. You get me? All this little type of stuff where you're spending money, your bills, to make sure you pay them on time. And the more I look at it, right, from working on yourself, it's the peace that comes in your life. It's that peace when you don't have to really worry about a lot, when you don't really have to struggle. It's the peace that's in here. It's the peace that's in here. And see, I didn't really, and talking this, I didn't expect for it to actually guide me to scripture. I did. Not with that one, but I am. I want that one to pop back up that I got on here. Because I like that. I don't know why it didn't pop up. At least that one right there, so I could read it all. But minding my own business, it's not giving me what's on here yet. Because I know it's right here. Or did I put, no, I put minding my own business. That's what I put on here. Minding my own business. And I'm going to tell y'all, I kind of laugh, right? Because it's like, Steve, for what you do, as far as trying to help people, it's kind of hard to just focus on yourself. You get me? I don't know, family, what is really happening with us? I don't know. I don't really understand other than when I asked my cousin, why do us as Black people, it's like we don't come and fight for ourselves or the things that we want out of life, and we won't come together as a unit, right? So I know we'll never come together if we don't be all right in here. You know, if you don't know how to love yourself, and that's one of the reasons why I say my 12-step journey, right? When y'all hear me talk about my 12-step spiritual journey, is to help you learn to love and care for yourself. Once you learn to love and care for yourself and it's in you, you know, we give it back. Because we only want people to learn to embrace themselves like we have. And it's sad to say, because I do not want to knock us. I don't want to knock us as Black people. Unity is the key, family. Then we have a lot of programs out here, right, that people can be guided to if you really need these programs and want these programs. You have to want them. Anybody that signs up for the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope, I always tell them, you the one that have to do the work to change. Once I do my intake on you, I see where you at, what's going on with you, things like that, and I know which way to guide you. So I'll guide you towards the professional help. And it starts with therapy or the PRP, somebody to help redirect your life. The therapist, somebody to help redirect your life. And if it get to that point that we feel like you might have some psychological issues and need to talk with a psychiatrist, we'll guide you to a psychiatrist. You got to break this. That's why y'all always hear me talk. When I talk, I'm letting you know. I got 33 years clean from addiction. I'm gonna use that word because that's a little bit of any and everything. not just the smugs or for TikTok's sake, but the drugs and the alcohol and the sex and the food and all of that is an addiction for me. It's like one is too many and 1,000 never enough. So I had to learn to practice some self-control. I had to learn to practice some discipline because sometimes I want to do what I want to do and I want to do it. So I had to learn. It was other people that taught me how to live a more productive way of life. They gave me suggestions like, you got to change people, places, and things. I didn't understand how important that was. And you know, when I said that, what popped in my head? Minding my own business. I had to learn to change people, places, and things. So I'm running around doing this, doing that, right? And guess what? It only came back to me. I had to start minding my own business, get myself together, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And guess what? I'm not going to push no religion on nobody because everybody don't follow a religion. So basically, when you hear me talk about spirituality, right? Morals, values, principles, being loving, being kind, being considerate, being thoughtful, being compassionate. You got to go in here. You got to feel it in here, which makes you a warm, sensitive person. You got to feel it in here. Ooh, that don't, come on, that make, ooh, ooh. No, you got to feel it in here. To say to yourself, I'm all right with being a loving, caring, kind, considerate, warm person. In here, because I'm learning about me. I'm minding my own business now to get to know me. A lot of us know about everybody else's story in life, but we're afraid to look at yourself. You know what Aunt Betty and them doing. You know what Uncle John and them doing. You know what Cousin Anthony and them doing. You know what this girlfriend doing, this buddy doing. Y'all know everything about everybody else's life, but minding your own business to get to know you. Because a lot of us are afraid. So it's better to look outside than inside. So when you hear me talk about my 12-step spiritual journey, I had to learn to be honest with myself. Sometimes for us, it's easier to lie than tell the truth. And anytime a person feel like they have to lie, you don't have no faith inside you. Oops, did I say that? I said faith inside you. You don't have no trust in you. So that's our way of pushing people away because we don't have no faith. We don't know how to be honest with ourselves. We don't know how to have faith with ourselves. We don't know how to trust within ourselves. So the first person I had to learn to build a relationship again with was Steve Copeland. Honesty, the truth, open-mindedness, the faith, willingness to trust. A lot of this I did not understand because I was too busy living a corrupt life. I wasn't minding my own business. I was too busy looking outside. And I'm only sharing his family because look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. It starts with me. It starts with me. And when you start gaining courage, confidence, and you start being truthful with yourself, you gaining power, you're gaining strength. And I'm talking about in your spirit. I'm talking about in your spirit. But guess what people do, family, if we not careful? They'll turn around and say, oh, your ego this, your pride that, you this, you that, you this, you that. And I tell you, yes, it is. And the reason why, because you looking at a guy that used to suffer from low self-esteem. And when you criticize it, that's what you want me to go back to. Nah, but I'm just saying, don't keep it to yourself. Do you know the work it took me to be able to speak like this, to talk like this, not to be acting out in a destructive way, not to harm or hurt anybody else? Oh, we don't like the way he talk, but that's your business. What? Oh, this is what I had to tell my cousin, Money. Whatever I was saying out my mouth with these women on that panel, just because they was in a messed up relationship, right? And I felt it. I didn't know her panel was like that at first, just for women. And then they bash men. I didn't know that. Be honest, I thought you was better than that, Queen. As a Copeland, I thought you was better than that. And number one, I'm gonna say this too, women. If you can run off at your mouth and you want that man to listen to you, learn to shut your mouth and listen to him. And I'm not talking about no man that's abusive and you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, stuff like that. That's not the ones I'm talking about. But when you have a man that's strong and powerful and stand firm on his morals and his values and his family, y'all mean more to me. And I'm trying to share this with these women. They ain't want to hear it because they never had no man in their life like that. So to them, all men are. Now, and if I want, I could say that about women. But then I have to look at who I allow in my life. I got to look at Steve. Because sometimes, you know, well, not sometimes, and I apologize, family. Any relationship that you're in, make sure you clear. If it's a commitment with just you and him, and y'all deciding y'all not gonna mess around and date nobody else, normally when people get into a committed relationship like that, they looking at later down the line or maybe getting married. When you make a commitment just to be with that individual and nobody else. Because that's what I do. I can't speak for any other man. If you and I living together as husband and wife, then as a Christian man, and I'm not trying to be smart, I'm telling you the truth. We live together as husband and wife. Why not marry her? Because we both living together in sin. So you correct it and you marry her in the sight of God. You correcting your wrong. I'm talking about men and women. That's the reason why. When I married my first wife, because we was living together and we had my daughter. Then I got into the church. So I wanted to correct that sin. I don't hear y'all talk like this. I don't hear you talk like this. You don't value yourself? So I asked her to marry me. I'm the one that screwed up. Not her. After years of being together. My first wife, I've been knowing her now for 46 years. Do you think I hate her? My family loves her just as much as they love me, and she loves my family. Do you think I hate her? That's y'all bullcrap. My second wife, I've been knowing her now for 27 years. Even though the marriage did not work. After 15 years of us being together, or around about 15 years, I left. I screwed it up. Both of them. So I can talk about me. Look at my fingers. See, the problem is y'all afraid to talk about yourself. I'm the one that messed it up. I'm the one that refused to continue doing the work to move it forward. I am. Well, what about her? I am. Well, what about her? Did you hear what I just said? I'm only saying it because y'all have a tendency of doing it. Well, what about her? You understand your story. I'm the one screwed it up. Well, what about her? Oh, I almost put my finger up. Caught myself. Because if I would have put it up, TikTok would have stripped me, right? But no, I had to look at me. I had to start minding my own business. You getting what I'm saying? Because when you all outside doing everything else, destructive, harmful, and the only way you can correct that, well, I'm sorry now, look, I need to mind my own goddamn business and find out what's going on with me. You get what I'm saying when I say mind your business? You got to focus on yourself. And once you're able to become that healthy individual, minding your business, now I can go back and help other people in minding their business. I'm like, Steve, you crazy. You get it? My 12-step spiritual program. Sometimes, and it doesn't make you a bad person, because we love, and we love hard, and we love deep. And sometimes when we're not feeling like it's reciprocated, you get me? Sometimes we'll run to the arms. I'm talking about Steve now. I'm talking about me. So when I talk about myself, understand, if you're looking at yourself, you can relate. God, I remember being there. Or I'm stuck there now, and I'm trying to see how I can work up out of it to either be a better husband, to be a better wife, to be a better parent, to be a better individual in society. I got to start minding my business. I got to start working on myself. I got to start focusing on that scary place. Because when I start minding my own business, that means I'm going in here. I'm starting to look at me. I'm starting to look at the stuff, minding my business, that I've been causing pain and misery in other people's lives because I'm miserable. That's what you get when you mind your own business. You get to focus on yourself. You're trying your best not to worry about nobody else and their business because you're minding your own. And once you're able to realize what went on for you minding your own business, need some help? You need me help you mind your own business? You need some help? You need some help with me helping you mind your own business? It's a psychological change. Sometimes you might have to go to counseling to mind your own business. Sometimes you might have to go talk with a therapist to mind your own business. Sometimes you might need a support group to mind your own business. The biggest fear, we run from minding our own business. Getting to know the most important person in this world, you. You run from you. From getting to know the beautiful, warm kings and queens that you are inside. You rather get around toxic individuals, messy individuals, because you fit right in. You fit right in. I refuse today. I refuse. My spirit is at peace. When God had me come on here, guess what? I prayed for him to decrease me so he can be increased inside of me. That's why I'm able to talk the way I do. That's why I'm able to share the things that I share. That's why I'm able, only for TikTok's sake, if we want to talk about grape, which is rape. If we want to talk about molestation, which is funding. If we want to talk about, and I'm saying it for TikTok's sake, those words. If you want to talk about abandonment issues, we can talk. If you want to talk about physical abuse, we can talk. Mental, emotional, and spiritual, we can talk. Because the goal for Big Steve is to meet you where you at. We can talk. And then share with you those things that you can do to begin to mind your own business, to focus on yourself, to gain peace in yourself. It's nothing like peace. It's nothing like being this handsome, bald-headed dude. When I can sit back and say, I love me. And if you don't have to. I do. Because I mind my own business. And it takes a lot of work. Once you end up gaining some peace in your life, it's about protecting your peace. It's about setting boundaries. It's about understanding if it's toxic, if it's unhealthy. I can't be there. Or if I come, I can't stay too long. Okay? If I pop up and I see it's getting real messy, bye. If I see it getting real toxic, bye. I'm not kissing nobody's butt. Because that's what a lot of us do. When we don't mind our own business, we licking other people boo-boo to be a part of what they doing. Not today. Not today. And I know a lot of y'all understand where I'm coming from. I can't say it enough. I thank God. So a lot of people understand if you never struggled in your life with drugs, alcohol, food, sex, gambling, all that stuff, that's a beautiful thing. If you was able to go out there and get caught up and just stop, that's powerful. Some people get dragged through the mud. I watch our brothers and sisters, man, caught up, strung out. Look like the spirit of life is not even in them no more. They walking around like zombies. As a recovering addict, do you know how that feel to me? Because you want to help, you want to help, you want to help, you want to help. But they got to want the help in order to change. They got to have that strong desire inside where they say enough is enough is enough is enough. And it doesn't, I'm not just talking about smugs or drugs or alcohol. I'm talking about anything that you are obsessive or compulsive with because you acting out on it, on the behavior. And you done lost control over yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And you will lie to yourself and say, I'm okay. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I can stop for like maybe a half an hour, but I got control. You can only stop for a half an hour, but you got control. Yeah. Until I get that other one. And let me share this with y'all too. I was talking about safe streets, right? I was talking about safe streets, working with safe streets. Because one thing I do understand, when you live a certain lifestyle, you got to break this. You don't have no new information. If you coming home from prison, you still going off that old way of thinking. So what you'll end up doing, you'll come home, you'll start hustling again. But this time you'll tell yourself stuff like, I ain't gonna be out there too long. Don't put it in your hands. If you don't pick it up, you can't go back out and sell it. Well, I'm gonna take it and give it to somebody else to do it. I'm gonna just stand on it. Don't pick it up. Don't put it in your hands. To give it to nobody, to serve nobody. I had to start minding my business. When I first got clean, I was sharing that because I wanted to hustle and then still go to meetings in church and all that. That's where my thinking was at. That's why I was making a statement about some of the people that's in safe streets. They still running off of their old information. They don't have no new information on top of that. And some just don't want to live that lifestyle no more, you get me? So they don't practice those old behaviors. But it's hard because it's here. And you telling yourself and you rationalizing and you justifying because you talking about ways and means to yourself that I can go back out and do this and do that and do that and get away with it. Then you go get around people who think just like you, act just like you, going to encourage you. Yeah, man, just get it. I watch out for this, I watch out for that. But then we forget when it all boils down, somebody got to go. Somebody putting the package out there. So they'll make a deal with your touter, your lieutenant, your sergeant, just to get you. But you ain't thinking that. They my boys, they ain't gonna tell on me. I lived that life, putting the package out. My family and us. And when I first got clean 33 years ago, I'm telling you, my thinking was like, I'm in recovery now. I didn't start going to church. So I wanted to go praise him on this end and hallelujah and talk about recovery and stuff like that, right? I'm telling y'all. And I had to start talking about it. And the more I would raise my hand and talk about it, because the desire to go and hustle again was still strong. But the more I talked about it, I was letting it up out of here. I was getting it out of here. I was getting back to the point that I'm minding my own, going into my own business, my mind. The desire was being lifted because I was talking about it. I wasn't acting. Just like when I would go out there and I might have slept with one, then two, then three, then four, then five. And whenever I would talk about I'm stuck, they knew it was more than one. And NA because they heard my story. And that's why when I say like this, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. I was caught up in the obsession or the act. You don't have to be no scientist for this. Well, technically, this was happening. Technically, my foot. I had to go inside and look at myself once again. Steve, what is wrong with you? Why are you acting out like this in a very destructive, unhealthy way? So I had to go back. A lot of us don't want to do better. A lot of us like the space that we're in. And I'm going to tell you this, as a minister for Christ, you can know all the scripture in the world, okay? You can know the Bible back and forwards, inside out, upside down, and all of that. But are you using the spiritual principles to enhance your life for you to be a better person? I stopped taking the Bible a long time ago and applying it to everybody else. The moment God started letting me see some of the stories that I was reading, and I might not have read the whole book of their life. I didn't have to. Because God was giving me enough, right? God was giving me enough. Do better, get better, stay prayed up. Love you, Tashawn. The Bible had me look at me. It had me start to mind my own business. My own business, because I'm looking at me. Reading some of the stories and what they started, they was talking about their experience. I was like, oh my God, I went through that too. See, some of y'all read the stories and y'all read it just like a regular book, which I get you. With their lives and how many children they had and the blah, blah, blah. You know, what happened at the end, how old they was. But you're not looking at it saying, God dang it, this is my story. Now, you're ending, you're not at the end, okay? You're not at the end. That's y'all problem. Because you reading the stories and you read the whole book or section of that person to the end, then you'll put yourself at the end. You're not at the end yet. When the end is the end, you gone. So whatever a lot of them, I'm talking about the individuals, then that we read about in the Bible, and then some of their family members might have suffered a struggle. That's all you gotta do is look at your own life. Some of the similarities are there. It might not be the exact, but the similarities are there. Then you can sit back and say, oh my God, I can relate to this, I can relate to that. Then you read the part, whatever they struggle with, whatever trauma they was dealing with. Then you look at how they was able to work up out of it and becoming a better person in life, better people. That's what I do. I only see enough that help me get that. Oh, I relate to that. And I'm talking about the Bible. I can relate to that story. Or I can relate to this story. Because that's life. And if you read deeper about Moses, about Isaiah, about Jeremiah, when you read deeper about them, and then you look at it and say something like this: God, I just want to know, why did God choose them? That individual. What went on in their lives that God took them, right, and used them as an example for us? What was so special about them? Tika is the first. I'm just reading what you put to Sean. All right, I might have somebody. I thought about you. I can't say it on here, but I thought about you. Somebody was telling me about McKean something where they pick children up that's like in the county, and they might live in the city somewhere, or they go to school in the county. But it's this company that it's the law that they pass where that person can stay at that school and get transportation to go back and forth to that school, even if they not in that county no more. But they gotta be considered as homeless and the hotel stuff like that. So it just made me think about that transportation thing that some people get when their children is in a county school and they get a cab to come and pick them up and drop them off. So it made me think about that. But it's all tied into the school. I said, I never heard of that. Somebody sent it to me. But it made me think about you and somebody else, daughter that was in the county school. But now I thought about you because I know which name was picking her up, taking her back and forth to school. So that was then. But I had thought about, made me think about, did you know about that service? That's all. But anyway, to get back to what I'm saying, y'all, when I say minding your own business, that's just focusing on yourself. Just getting to know yourself. Okay? Now, Monday through Friday, from 6 to 8. Now, I might drop early. The goal is to come on and talk about my 12-step spiritual journey. Say it to yourself. My 12-step spiritual journey. If you got a lot of chaos, confusion, and mayhem that's going on in your life, that's not the spirit of peace, of joy, of happiness. That is not the spirit of that. When you feel like you need to go and confrontate with somebody all the time, that is not love. Tashawn said, mind yourself and stay out of toxic relationships. That's what I'm talking about as well. I ain't got time to be fixing nobody. I ain't got time to be molding and shaping nobody. Not at 64. And I'm trying to be nice, cuz I'm really disappointed in you. I'm really disappointed in you. You're Copeland, baby. I did not know that your platform was like that. I did not know that most of the women on your platform are hurt. And you gonna turn around and drop me when somebody came for me? And I realized right after that the type of platform you had. Where you felt like you needed to coach me. You 40-something years old. I'm 64. We both been married twice. And you felt like you needed to coach me? And we somewhat experienced the same things? Then you gonna sit back and tell me how I need to bring my voice down? Because it offends other people? Why would you let my voice offend you? Why would you let stuff that other people say out their mouths get that close to you? So it ain't just me. You ain't realize I caught that, did you, cuz? And then your girlfriend that felt like I was talking to her, when I made the statement out my mouth that was similar to what she was saying, she got offended. I'm not a child, sis. I was trying to tell her I went through the same things. But guess what? I ain't hurt. It was an experience. And I was sitting there listening to y'all. And I started to say, cuz, do y'all want to sign up for the mental health program? Because you still dealing with that trauma. And I understand why right now you're not trying to let no guys in your life. You're a very strong, independent woman, and I told you that. Then you gonna turn around and come for me? When I'm sitting up here looking at you and I'm looking at how strong and powerful you is as a Copeland woman? But when you start making a statement out your mouth about somebody saying you was slumped over, that's a form of them saying your self-esteem is low. So I caught it. You think your cousin got this age by being dude? Then when I went to tell you about the housing program and the type of women that we deal with, we know people come with issues. It's not just the women. But y'all didn't want to listen to a man, to sit back and tell y'all, this is why I work with our brothers. That's why I sponsor men, to help them turn their lives around. But y'all don't have no hope, cuz. And that's what I realized on there. Y'all don't have no hope for no healthy relationships and all that type of stuff. I'm 64 years old. I'll be damned if I'm giving up. I ain't in a big hurry, though. I'm not in a big hurry. I'm not in a big hurry. I'm not in a big hurry. But God dang it, I'm looking for that queen. She got to be a God-fearing woman. I want her to be a church-going woman. The reason why I said, well, involved in doing certain things for the ministry. But that's the way God using her. Because I feel like, for me, to be honest with y'all family, this is the type of mate I need in my life. I'm talking about wife-wise, not just a mate, somebody to sleep with. Where we can pray together. We can read Bible together. We can enjoy church together. I never had that personally. So I can sit here and basically say now what I expect. Can y'all? But I'm just letting you know right now, and I'm gonna make a little clip to send this back over, cousin. I'm really disappointed in you. I was thinking about that when I took the trash out, right? I'm gonna say that again. I was thinking about that when I took the trash out. We family. Nowhere in the world. If somebody came for you on my platform, I'm gonna drop you. Nowhere in the world. So you really made me realize where you was at as a Copeland. All that Gucci stuff you was talking about your grandfather, Aunt Meg, and all of them being strong, powerful women. After a while, you became embarrassing to me. But you want to try to look at me, and this is what I do for a living, sis. Talk with people. And like I told you, you ain't got to worry about me coming back up there again because I don't play that. Anytime I come on somebody's platform and the host and I kind of had words, I'm not coming back. I don't play that. I'm not a kid, cuz I stand firm on my morals, my values, and my principles, and this really break my heart. Because I need to know more about my family from the ones we all grew up with, but and the things that you can feed me, but you can keep it to yourself now. Because Steve Copeland ain't no joke. I got other family members I can call and learn about my family from South Carolina. You just shut the door on us because of some woman that, Tashawn, I know I heard it. I wasn't talking to her. I was relating to what C Trey was talking about and her. And I was relating to her from a man's perspective of going through the same things. I will move away from women with a big mouth. And she took it like I was talking to her personally. I said, these are signs that, from what she was saying with her stuff, these are indications for me. And she felt like I was directing it right to her. I was like, no. But by this time, she blew up, and my cousin went right for it. I got you, cuz. I realized then and there, me and Trey was talking about that. Your platform is built for women that hate men. I did not know that. I did not know. And I'm truly embarrassed about that as a Copeland man, as a father with 4 daughters and 2 granddaughters. And I sat up there and told you how proud I am of you as a single mother, a professional career type woman. You sitting back telling me, because I'm tired of men, talking about women that got educations and all of that. And I said that to be smart, to be sarcastic. Education, right? I am proud of our women that got their doctorate degrees, went to college. My daughters did. What I'm going to turn around and badmouth a woman in that case? Y'all are so used on TikTok to these men disgracing, degrading. Y'all, it's sunk in, and y'all are angry. A woman can sit up here and talk about his teeth, this and that. He need to go to the dentist. You think dang about? No, I do need to go when I get good and damn ready. But I'm still a good goddamn looking man. Look at him. You can say what you want about me, because it's not true. And I had to learn, family, not being smart. Y'all know what I do. So I'm known as the big mouth bald head dude in Baltimore City. I didn't know that. Who told me that one? Somebody told me I was considered as the big mouth bald head black dude. Lady J was the one that told me that you the most hated man in Baltimore City. I'm like, what? Because I speak out. Because I stand up for us. Huh? So black people, y'all felt like it was better to insult me than to stand with me? Huh? Come on, answer. Answer. Come on. Do y'all know how much courage and confidence it takes to stand up against our politicians, to get them to do the right things for the people? Huh? But no. You mad at me because I'm arguing with them about doing the right things for y'all. That's why Keith asked me to run for council seat. Keith said, Steve, do you want to run for council seat? I said, Keith, why are you doing that? And know why he's doing it? The LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. Strengthen the community. It's all about the people. Community activists, human rights advocates. Join organizations that help fight for your civil rights, your equal rights, and your constitutional rights. Collect donations and give them out. Building back up in Baltimore City. I said, Keith, people like us, they don't want in. I already know it, family. I already know it. I'm already doing the necessary things to help build us back up. And if I do make the decision to run, I told him, I said, let me pray on it. I was offered $1 million twice. If I wanted to sell y'all out, I could have been sold y'all out, Baltimore City. I just want to see our city move into a more healthier place before God called me home. I just want to be able to look around and be so proud of my city. But I'm the type of person y'all don't want. It ain't the politicians. When Keith said what he did, it ain't the politicians. Because I said, Keith, just like with Keith, if Keith had got in, Donald Struggins had got in, people like that, that I know this for the people. Already know when your heart and all of that is truly for the people, and you not an actual sellout, they don't want you in. They'll do what they can not to get you in. Mainly if they can't use you and play with you the way they want. And everything I'm saying to y'all, I said to Keith. But I said, let me pray on it. I'm looking at the people in Baltimore City. The goal is to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses for inner city people. What me and Keith was talking about, because they get ready to fight for reparation. And he was talking about like some of these abandoned places in Baltimore City. See, I'm looking for funding to help start rehabbing and revitalizing houses. He said no. we'll get the government to pay for it. All these abandoned spaces we got around here. Big old warehouses that you can convert into like apartment complexes. Penthouses for some people, building them up real nice, but making them affordable. That's all we looking at. That's all I ever talk about. That's all I ever talk about, Baltimore City. But if we don't have the courage, if we don't have the confidence to come together and fight for what we want and stop pulling each other back down. And then you want to turn around and say the white man, the white system. It's not just white people that don't want to see people move forward. And I'm not talking about just black people. That's what y'all don't like about me. And that's what I was telling my cousin. So what you telling me? I need to tone my voice. I need to do this and that. I said, no, God created me just the way he wanted me. My mouth. And if y'all know, my actions match, whatever I say out my mouth matches my action. Or my action matches, you get it? You get it? They match. I don't just say this and don't do that. And don't do it. And I'm looking at Tashawn. I'm looking at Wanda. I'm looking at Phyllis. I'm looking at people that works with me to help our people because their heart is for the people. I don't want y'all to get mad because I'm real. Please don't get mad at me because I speak out a little louder. It's just getting the point across. And I'm not trying to be smart, family. When they know they got pushovers, they have pushovers. I could have been. Stop doing what I'm doing. And went the other way. Told y'all I refused to. Look what happened to me 3 years ago. I got arrested. That was their way of kidnapping me, getting me off the street. Never once did I talk to a judge to share my story of what's what. The goal was for me to let them know. The 2 houses that I was supposed to considered as, damn, I guess it ain't been that long. Why I can't remember? I can't remember the charges. It ain't been that long. God dang. What is it? Breaking and entering. And then abuse. Right? Wait. God darn it. And I've been taking vitamins, family. I don't know what's wrong with this thing right now. And I'm not, look, just because I'm 64, okay? It ain't shooting in like it used to be. But anyway, that was my rental properties and my business, right? And I never had a chance to talk to a judge. I was charged with burglary on my own rental property and business. It was 2 of them words. I'm gonna hurt myself. I'm gonna hurt myself. Now I want to go over there and pull out the papers, y'all. I'm like, y'all know I'm getting old. It's like stuff just don't come like it used to. But anyway, I have not talked with a judge to explain, strengthen the community. the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. Every time it was scheduled for me to go to court, something happened where I didn't make it. That's how they prolong my stuff. It's a shame. But I'm going to tell you, God wanted me to see just how the system do you. 61 years old. For 10 years, I used to come in and out the wide building that was in the main prison on Fridays at 7 o'clock. For 10 years, I had an H&I commitment. I would come in talking to the guys, encouraging them about, getting their lives together so when they come home. I even signed up to come in on the prison ministry. What's up, C-Trey? "61 years old. They created 14. The white police did. Charges. The white detective got mad at me because she was asking me questions and I was giving her a 2-minute story, just like I'm doing this. She said, that's all you had to do was say yes or no. I said, no. You asked me a story, I'm explaining it. So when I got indicted that I didn't make it to my court date, I realized, I said, Steve, she mad at you. She was mad. I want to say your name so bad. Both of y'all. So what y'all did to me, I can imagine how many other black men and probably women y'all have done that to. It's too easy. The goal was to sue Baltimore City and the Eastern District Police Department. I was trying to reach out to Daru and a couple of more of them while I was behind bars. But Daru was full. Because by that time, he was suing the city for about 5 other cases. So I was trying to get my children to reach out to Daru because he knew me or know me. The ones that I kind of deal with, even Brandon Scott, Ivan Bates, all of them. Isabel Cummins know what happened. Mackenzie Frost know what happened. I reached out to her before they end up arresting me. I received a phone call about 2 weeks. It was Angela, and I can say her name because we talked about it. She said, Steve, they shutting down a lot of the community activists and stuff like that, right? And back then, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, bro, because I haven't seen you in a long time. I said, no wonder I ain't been seeing Booney as far as, out speaking out and doing what he did. But I noticed I wasn't seeing a lot of the ones that, God dang it, which they still out there. But look, I was telling Angela, right? I said, oh, Brandon Scott ain't gonna let nothing happen to me or blah, 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 blah. Because they know who I am, right? March the 12th, I was gone. I told Brandon Scott on March the 11th. I said, Brandon Scott, I was at the budget meeting. I said, I need to talk to you, bro. I'm having a big issue with the Eastern District Police Department. You suckers. I even tried to reach out to Commissioner Harris 3 times because of y'all. Street polices. When I went down to the main police headquarters, right? One of the police said, I remember you. You be the one out there doing such and such and such, because I was trying to go upstairs and talk with Commissioner Harris. But it's good when people know. It's good when people know that your heart is for helping the people. No, I will not, Tashawn. Tashawn said, ask Brandon Scott, what has he done for the black community? Why is there still homelessness in Baltimore City and county? Tashawn, let me say this, Queen. I was telling Keith this too. They are good and they're evil. You get me, Tashawn? We fight good. Well, we fight against evil for the people. So the reason why I'm saying this, Tashawn, because I had to start calling Brandon Scott nephew. Once you realize, I don't care if it's a Democrat, I don't care if it's a Republican, all of y'all are full of shit. And I'm putting it like that because number one, I call myself getting with the Republicans because of that thing y'all sold to me. Well, we want to help the people put their lives together and we want to get them in the programs and we want to do. Y'all was speaking all my language. Christopher Anderson, the rest of y'all. Okay, I'm very disappointed in you, bro. Very, because you know what I do and the stuff we was doing in the city to help the people. And you running on a Republican ticket, that's fine. What are you doing to build back up? Nothing that I know, because I'm in the community. So I know you're not like that. And I got disappointed when I found out y'all was full of crap too. So that's personal for me, bro. And I'm not trying to be smart with none of y'all. I just realized I'm looking at politics as a whole. You get me, Tashawn? Y'all a bunch of lying, no good mother. Blinky, blinky, blinky. I love TikTok. I love. I'm just saying, y'all. But you know what I told Keith? Tashawn? I told Keith, I'm like, because I'm looking at Tashawn. Remember what you just said? I was looking at how I came so hard, mean, and nasty for them, Tashawn. I know y'all remember Baltimore. Don't play with me. And I prayed because once I got off the monitor and everything, and I started going back out, me and Tashawn and all of us, right, down the building, I had to be more professional like. You get me? I had to start like I said, I'm gonna start posing like this. I'm gonna start because I'm looking at all the professional people that's on TV, how they use their hands and stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna start doing it too. Like today's weather, y'all, y'all bet not be over there laughing at me, Baltimore. I'm not playing. Cause I said this time, I said, I don't like that voice. I said this time, I prayed to Sean, and I know you know. I prayed, and I'm like, God, please help me be more humble. Help me, Lord, to be more humble. When I open up my mouth, I don't want to be known as the big mouth bald head black dude. I don't want to be known as the most hated man in Baltimore City. And the kidney nurse, Steve, he called me the most controversial man in Baltimore City. And I said, and loving it. That means I don't take no shit. Y'all miss it. Y'all miss it. And see, the thing with this now, if 9 times out of 10 I am going to run, right? I am. Nowhere in the world. Now, y'all know on here, I like having fun. I like playing. I like kidding. I like joking. I like being serious. Sharing a personal story about facing the justice system. That's what AI just put over there, right? And I try to flip it around so people can see the stuff they be sending me. I be trying to flip it. To tell viewers your content was generated or edited by AI. I'm gonna click that button because I like the stuff. I won't be able to see it now, but they're telling them actually what I'm discussing, talking about over here, right? So I want my own little station to do the Teen Talk show. Y'all see the Teen Talk? Baltimore. This is my Teen Talk, right? This is y'all Teen Talk. Everything I'm doing is for y'all, Baltimore City. Tashawn said, I have a dream that one day that homelessness will be no longer all the Black community. Will get to work with all immigrants working together, not against each other. And to be honest, Tashawn, um, you know, Black people aren't the only ones that's struggling, right? With homelessness and stuff like that. You remember we had what you naming them in the building as well. We had the girl with her kids and her aunts and them. And not only that, that's just helped me to understand, family, that Black people aren't the only people that's struggling in life. And when I went with, thanks to Sean, when I went with Communities United to Detroit, and I believe we went up there to help. I'm getting ready to say the immigrants, but I think it was the Hispanic. Not the Hispanics. I'm sorry. They weren't immigrants. Why am I getting the brain freeze today? But when we went to Detroit, family, to the, I'm getting ready to say Hispanics, right? We all family together anyway. Why migrants coming? I'm gonna just say immigrants. All right, the ones in Detroit, they was being discriminated against, right? And when I talk with somebody in Detroit, I ask them, do they remember when I don't know why Puerto Ricans coming in, but when they had that a rally up there, they might have had several since then. I don't know, but we had went with Communities United, and all of us had went up there to do a protest and a rally with them because. And then the only thing I'm trying to get to, family, and I apologize for dragging it too long, but what I realized with that, family, that Black people aren't the only people that's being discriminated against. That took me out that box. I was shocked. I really was, because you know when you grew up in the Black community, so you see what's happening with your Black people. You see what's happening with people in the poor, like Tashawn is saying, in the poor Black community. And this is what Keith want to do too, Tashawn. Not just Keith. It's a lot of them coming together. 17 individuals to run for seats on up to mayor on the local level that I know so far. Might be higher. Monique ain't gonna fight me. That's my baby. Tell her I need her to come on my show Saturday. I need y'all to I might call you on the phone so we can talk a little bit if you don't come on. Just to have fun, laugh, kid, joke. And then I want to pick with her about her boyfriend too. I want everybody to know. Big right here. All right, Tashawn. I want her to Saturday or Sunday. Don't forget, I'm on from around about 6 to 8. But look, family, and thanks for what you putting in the comments, Tashawn. I love it. Monique going to fight you. Don't say immigrants around her. Keep ICE out of Baltimore City and county and out of Maryland. This is what my goddaughter, y'all. What's she, about 12 now, Tyshawn? With a boyfriend. I'm like, she is growing up. I told her she can't have a boyfriend until she's like 100 and something. And she don't do nothing but bust out laughing. How old is her and Juwan? I just wanted to come on so Big Unc can pick with her. She know I love her and want the best. I'm glad. I look at her videos, the pictures you post of her every day on her way to school, busting all that. I was looking at them. I might not be up that early, but you're a good woman. You know, I always told you that. I always told you. But look, because this must have been a conversation. Okay, she's 12. This must have been a conversation that I really needed to get out right. And Baltimore City, I just want y'all to know, I love y'all. I want the best for Baltimore City. I ain't trying to get out there and act real ghetto and stuff like that. So if I do make the decision, family, to run, it's to keep it professional. I already know that. And not just that y'all know me. Y'all know I love my city. I want the best for our city. And I will be talking about it more. And like I told Keith as well, I want us to start doing lives on it. So because of, I don't know, is Newsom have a broadcast network that he works on, but my whole thing is, if I make the decision, because I said I'm gonna pray on it, to run, I'm really going to need y'all. And most importantly, right, keep in mind, it's a lot of people in the inner city don't vote. We can slow it down. I don't think that's a goal too, Tyshawn. You already know that. But I'm telling y'all, we address the fentanyl and the opioid TikTok. We love you. Because I don't know if I could say that word. I might have to read it up to see if certain words I can say with TikTok community guidelines. But you already know, Tyshawn, we fought to get safe consumption sites here because of that stuff. And it was denied. Congress denied it. Y'all already know back in the days we fought to get the eye in the sky here, the plane, to reduce the unalive rate for Baltimore City, the homicide by pew pew, by pew pews now, guns. That's what the spy plane came up for. Every time we create something, and it's not me, it's normally your activist and a council member or somebody like that, right? That will create bills to help reduce certain things for the inner city Black community. And the good part about it, which is not really good, they will go to the outer skirts communities because they know most of them vote. But it's a lot of your inner city people that will not vote because they don't trust the politicians. And that's something I used to tell Brandon Scott and them anyway. You got to win the faith and the trust back in the people. They don't trust y'all. So I'm going to see what happens. He having you say your stepson uncle Paul is fighting for his life because him and his twin brother David was up Penn North when they had that overdose. I didn't hear about, I know they had the overdose, but I didn't know he been sick ever since July. It makes me think that's his heart, stuff like that. You get me? He been sick since July. Is he in the hospital or he home? I'm gonna tell y'all. Keep in mind, Baltimore. I'm gonna pray on it. Um, I'm gonna need y'all. Y'all know I've been doing this for years. I'm talking about with strengthening the community. The Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. It's a temporary housing program, temporary to get you into a permanent. So I'm already doing the necessary work to help move us forward. It's just I don't have the backing, the finances. And that's one of the things I told Keith. But I know about politics and people believing in you, they would donate. You know what I mean? Because the whole goal is to start like Tashawn saying. I don't think we're ever in the homelessness. You get me? But I think we can slow it down. I got you, Tashawn. He home. Oh my God, he in hospice. Wow. Wow. Keep me informed. I might try to go talk with his family. Keep me informed, Tashawn. Now, a lady gave me 2 boxes of this. I said, no, I don't want it. Right? They got $460 million. Did y'all know that, Baltimore? From what I understand, the mayor's office got $460 million to treat this. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. To me, it was a setup. Listen to what I just said. It was a setup. So now you have a lot of these programs that can apply for that money because of the poison that they blah, blah, because of the poison that they putting out in the communities. Some lady told me because of the fentanyl, Tashawn, they gave her that she was operated on, and they gave her that. I'm like, what? Because from what I understand, for TikTok's sake, it's a poison. So you see how they use stuff. That's probably the street part of it, right? With the poison. Pastor Martha Scott, Dallas Court at Douglas Homes. But well, look, the reason why I'm saying this to Sean, because 9 times out of 10, be honest, when I do run, I probably need I'm going to need you. You can keep doing what you're doing, but I just know the work that you personally do too within the community. I already know what you do. And that's something we can talk about down the line as well. Okay. So just keep doing what you're doing. You know I'm gonna need you point blank. Look, Baltimore City, I love y'all. It's 8 o'clock. And y'all hung in here with me. We got some work to do, family. Keep in mind, I'm older now. I don't have a lot of energy like I used to. And when Keith reached out to me a while back, to Sean, and told me he wanted me to be a part of this team they putting together to fight for reparation. Then when I was telling Keith, because you know the goal is to get the money to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses in Baltimore City for the poor people, communities. It's just not Baltimore, y'all. It's other cities that's coming together for this thing. So we coming up against the Democrats and the Republicans. And it's not to say that it can't be done. Stop believing in your head now. The Democrats and Republican Party, they are the strongest two parties, but it's more political parties out there than that. See, I already know that. That's why I'm sharing this with y'all, because it's not going to be based around the Democrats or the Republicans. All right? It's about us coming together. And be honest, it's up to the people. And y'all know, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk negative. Run now. I'm going to point things out to our people. But the goal is to empower each and every one of y'all, look, giving y'all the strength that if you want to make a change, we got to come together. I'm tired. That's why I had to focus on minding my own goddamn business. Y'all get it? I had to focus on me. And maybe this is God's way of saying it's time for you to step in that other area, son. Look where I'm at. The Couch Talk Show. The Teen Talk Show. Giving our youth a voice. I am a voice for the Creator. I got you, Tashawn. Because Keith said something today about like some of these the abandoned buildings, stuff like that, right? Houses, and he mentioned buildings as well. So basically, it's to get the government funding. That's all he's saying. They already giving out money to rebuild anyway. It's getting them to give out more to rebuild for the people that need their help the most, the Black community. So once I learn more about it, y'all know how I am. We're going to go for it. That's my thing right there. Once I get a better understanding of the bigger picture, right? Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. Because I'm not trying to be ignorant. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to keep it real about what's happening with us. So I love y'all. And thanks, Baltimore City. We're going to do this thing. Thank you, money. We're going to do this. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I ain't got no time for no half-stepping bunch of people. and keep it moving. I ain't got time. Love y'all. I'm out, Tashawn. Love you, baby girl.